If you think she thinks like you, feels like you, or wants sex like you are absolutely wrong. Once you understand how she's wired, you'll know how to lead better conversations. You'll know how to make those deeper connections and have more intimacy. I'll show you why people say relationships take work and how knowing women can make this much easier for you. Make yourself irresistible to her, even if she's not in the mood. You've been told that relationships take work, and the moment you mess up, you're accused of not being caring, not listening, and being emotionally unavailable. I know. But here's the truth that most men never hear, including any one of my 7 brothers, because I've talked to them all. Women are different, not just socially and emotionally, but biologically, hormonally, neurologically, physiologically, mentally. And when you finally understand how she thinks, how she feels, how to connect with her sexually, how she communicates, you can stop guessing and getting in trouble, let's just say. You can stop walking on eggshells. You can become that man that she really respects and trusts. By the end of this video, you will know the 4 critical areas every man must know about a woman, like how she thinks and why sometimes it seems so out of pocket, her emotional world and how to avoid drowning in it if you are, and how to approach sex when she wants it and when she doesn't, and why. And then also how to communicate with her so that you're not just relying on logic alone. I'm going to give you the 411 in this one-on-one with my 30 years experience. And if you've ever felt like you don't matter in the relationship anymore, or you don't feel like you're enough, I want you to stick with me, because this might explain everything. And you don't want to miss the sex part. Okay, so let's talk about how she thinks first. So let's get into it. This is very important, so I want you to pay attention. She doesn't think like you. Women's brains are like spider webs. Everything is connected. That shoe on the floor is going to get in the way of you having to leave in 15 minutes because somebody might trip over it and we have to tend to the injury of the person who tripped over it. Or she could be on the phone talking to her mother and she's stirring a pot of spaghetti. And if you come in interrupting her, then that messes up the whole flow when it's time to have dinner at 6 o'clock. Men's brains are like a chest of drawers. You're going to open up one at a time, rummage through it, and then close it back. You're single focused. Women have more of like a diffused awareness in their thinking. And this alone is why so many conflicts, so many arguments, so many misunderstandings don't get solved fast or faster than what they really should. So remember, men tend to compartmentalize how he thinks in terms of solving problems in a linear fashion. Everything, work, family, everything goes into a category. And with women, their brains are like a network. Everything is connected. I want you to think about this when you're talking to her, because you're not talking the same language. You have to remember this about her. And then everything that she's felt, she keeps with her. A woman's brain is like a network, like everything's connected. She's just not thinking about what you said. She's connecting it to what you said last week or the week before that reminds her of what she's thinking about now, like the time you may have forgotten her birthday. You focus on solutions. She focuses on the meaning. You might say, we already solved this. But she says, but I still feel upset. Does this ring a bell for you? She's not overreacting, but rather overlaying all the context from the past, the present, the emotions, the meaning, every single moment. The key isn't to get her to think like you, it's to lead her through to clarity while validating the process, which is her feelings. Now stay with me, because in the next section, I'm going to show you why she feels things so deeply and what happens when you shut those feelings down. It's too much for her. Okay, here's part 2, the emotions. This is big, okay? If men are like pressure cookers, you're always building up energy and at some point you're going to explode. Women are more like waves. They recede, they crash, and then they rise again. Emotionally, she doesn't just experience feelings, like she revisits it over and over and over again. Okay? Just when you thought something was buried and gone, it's coming back up. And you might even think like, why are we talking about this again? I already apologized for this. It's not that deep. Let's just move on. But to her, it is. because her emotions are not linear. They're relational. It's tied to how you feel, what you do, and what you think. And more importantly, if she feels safe with you in that moment. The deeper truth is that she doesn't want you to fix her feelings, but she wants to feel safe around you. And that's what you have to learn how to do, gents. Okay? So you can't just jump to a conclusion. There's more going on than what you see. So instead, say this. It sounds like you're frustrated. Do you want to walk through and talk about what's happening? That sentence alone has saved more marriages than therapy. So if this is starting to click and you're starting to realize, okay, man, I haven't been approaching this right, I want you to book a free strategy session with me to figure all this out. It's not just about how you say it, it's about being a man and showing up so that she can trust you fully. Okay? My client, Mark, misunderstood what his wife actually wanted because most of the men in his life told him that he needed to control his woman versus understanding her and then giving her what she wants, what she says she wants. Many men think that what they think their partner wants is the thing, but it's not. And they always want to be right. Like that's a very natural biological experience within men. You want to know intuitively what your partner wants to help her be happy and to protect your kingdom, your territory, the people in your environment. But you can't, you have to ask. So Mark finally asked and stopped guessing because she was always upset with him. So when he finally asked her and he took that as a tool to help him thrive in the relationship and have more peace and even more respect, then his relationship started to change. Okay, are you still with me? I hope this is tracking. We're going to keep going here. We're going to talk about part 3, which is how she approaches sex. Men think about sex 6 more times a day than women. This is a natural phenomenon. Okay, so I'm going to give you the real here. This is the gist of it all. Okay. Sex is just not physical for her. It's emotional, it's psychological, it's mental, it's energetic. You might feel turned on visually, okay? She needs emotional closeness, like she needs to be jump-started. She needs that time. You can go from 0 to 100 in a second. She's more like a stove than a microwave, okay? She has to feel emotionally safe around you. If she's holding in anger, resentment, exhaustion, her body will not say yes to you no matter how much you try to initiate or trick her. And you can't negotiate this. This is where most men go wrong. They either get frustrated and stop trying, or they apply more pressure and then it backfires. But when you focus on rebuilding the emotional element of it, the closeness, the affection, making her feel safe, the desire comes back to you like triple and really fast. So I don't want you to click away yet because in the next section, I'm going to show you the number one reason that conversations spiral into arguments and how you can fix it. So number 4, how she communicates. You speak to solve the problem as a man. She speaks to process the emotions and clarify the thoughts that builds intimacy. I know you want the bullet points. I get that. You want to solve the problem so that it's done. You don't have to revisit this. She wants to bond and connect with you through conversation, which can go in several different directions, right? Women can have a conversation on top of a conversation on top of a conversation. And that's why she repeats herself. That's why she brings up something you said in the past to the present, because she's always operating in the present, the past, and the future in terms of her emotions. You'll say, that's not what I meant. And then she'll say, well, that's how I felt, right? Women are always operating, most of them, not all, in the feeling mode. Men are thinking, what's going on, what's happening. You operate in the thinking mode, not all, but most. So let's move on here. So she says, I'm still not over it. I'm sure you've heard that quite a bit. Here's the key. You cannot overtalk her to make her listen to you. It'll actually push her further away from you. You have to know what to do instead. Like, it means you need to listen. You have to listen without defending. But I know it's hard if you feel like somebody's coming at you. You want her to feel emotionally safe with you, but it's so important for you to feel safe too which means that your feelings get to be heard. So here's a simple phrase that can help you out in this situation. So it's, I'm not here to argue with you, okay? I really want to understand what's happening because it matters to me and I would like to see you happier. That line right there dissolves 80% of conflicts. Like I've had this with a client of mine, Pedro, because Pedro talked about how he really didn't know what to say to his partner. He was at a loss of words and he just ignored the problem because he didn't have the words. But once I worked with him, he said, wow, I can't believe like these simple statements could actually keep her focused in the conversation and on the topic we're actually talking about. Like that is so important. So Pedro had a win and you can have a win too with this. You just have to use that line. Okay, gents, if you've ever felt like saying or you've said, I don't really know what to do anymore, or I can't win, no matter what I do, it doesn't help, it's not enough, then it's probably because you're operating from your own internal wiring. You're trying to lead, love, and fix based on how you would process life, not from her perspective. It is not to say how you do it is wrong, but she's not you. And once you understand how she thinks, how she feels, how she connects, and how she speaks, you can stop handling it in a way that you would, but instead in the way that helps reconnect the both of you. That's when the emotional walls will finally come down. That's when the affection will come back from what you remember. And that's when the peace will be even more plentiful for you, gents. So if you've realized that your relationship hasn't been working the way you really want it to work, and you want to get things back on track, and you just need a little bit of guidance, then I want you to book a strategy call with me and see if we can figure out what's happening. I can give you some scripts. I can help you understand from your particular woman's perspective, because not all women are the same. We can talk about what's happening and get you back on track and get your relationship flourishing and you thriving and feeling more peace. I'm Sulonda, your relationship and communication coach. I'll see you in the next video.